and work and weekend plans. It made him worse. He couldn't find anything, which meant either I was clean or I was better at hiding it than he was. 2 weeks later, Orion sat me down and said he needed to talk. He said he felt like something was different between us and that he was scared of losing me. I asked him why he felt that way. He said I'd been distant. I said, have I? He said yes. He said he didn't want to lose what we had and that he wanted to be honest with me about everything going forward. I looked at him and waited. He told me about Talia. He said it happened twice and that it was over and that he ended it. He was crying. He said he was telling me because he didn't want any secrets between us. I let him finish. I let every word land. I let the tears fall. I let him sit in that awful silence where you've just confessed something terrible and the other person hasn't said a single thing back and you don't know if the next sound will be forgiveness or a door closing. He wiped his face with his sleeve and looked at me like a man standing at the edge of a cliff waiting to see which way the wind blew. Then I said, okay. He blinked. He said, okay, what? I said, okay, I heard you. He stared at me. He said that was it. I said, what do you want me to say? He said he didn't know. He said he expected me to scream or throw something or leave. He said he had been bracing himself for a fight. I said I wasn't going to fight him. I said I appreciated his honesty. I said it took courage to tell me. His face went through 6 emotions in about 3 seconds. Relief, then confusion, then suspicion, then more relief, then guilt, then something close to fear. He couldn't figure out why I was calm. A normal person who just heard their boyfriend cheated would not be sitting on the couch saying, I appreciate your honesty. But Orion was so desperate for it to be okay that he convinced himself I was just a mature, understanding person. He wanted to believe that version of me because the alternative was that I already knew. And if I already knew, it meant every gym shower and every smile at my phone and every late reply had been deliberate. That possibility was too terrifying for him to sit with, so he pushed it away. He hugged me and said he would never do it again. He said I was the best thing in his life. He said he didn't deserve me. That part was true. The next morning, I woke up early and started phase 2. Phase 1 had been the slow erosion of his confidence. Phase 2 was the exit. I had already been looking at apartments for 2 weeks. Rue's cousin had a 1-bedroom opening up on the 1st of the month in a building 10 minutes from my job. The rent was $1,350 and I had $6,800 saved in an account Orion didn't know about. The account had been open since before we moved in together, but I had never mentioned it because it was my emergency fund, and I had always believed in keeping something that was just mine. My mother taught me that. She said never let a man know everything about your money because the day you need to leave is the day you'll be glad you didn't. I thought she was being paranoid when she said it. Turns out she was being practical. I sat down with Rue and mapped out every dollar. First month, $1,350. Last month, $1,350. Security deposit, $1,350. That was $4,050 right there. That left me $2,750 for moving costs and the gap between paychecks. It was tight. I'd be eating rice and eggs for the first month, but I had done that before and I could do it again. The difference between being broke on your own terms and being comfortable in someone else's apartment is a difference most people don't understand until they've lived both. That fund was about to pay for itself. I started moving things out slowly, not furniture, personal things, my grandmother's jewelry box, my winter coats from the hall closet, the photo albums I kept on the top shelf of our bedroom closet, books, the small espresso machine I had bought before we started dating that Orion used every morning without ever asking where it came from. I moved 1 or 2 things at a time. I'd put them in a bag when he was at work and drive them to Rue's apartment.